There are currently two major 10-scale classes that you'll see at most different 10-scale RC races around the world. In this video, we'll be talking about the more versatile of the two, four-wheel drive buggy. Even though it's more expensive than a two-wheel drive buggy, because you can race four-wheel drive buggies in much lower grip, you'll see them more often on said lower grip tracks, including outdoor tracks, which is what this big buggy is set up for. In this video, we'll be going over everything that makes a 10-scale four-wheel drive buggy, otherwise known as wheeler, unique, using this B84 from Team Associated as our analog. Before we begin, I'd like to thank the sponsors of this channel, A-Main Hobbies, Cow RC, and Southern Speed RC. Anything you guys purchase using the links and codes in the description below will directly support me as well. With that out of the way, let us begin. Let's begin with everything that we can observe with the body on. Starting with the wheels and tires, it's plain to see something different about them compared to other larger scale buggies like, for example, an 8-scale buggy. The main difference is their sizing front to rear. Even on four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive buggies, the front wheels and tires are always skinnier than the rear ones. This is more or less a holdover from the early days of four-wheel drive buggies when most of them were just conversions of two-wheel drive vehicles. Now, even though this buggy is set up for outdoor racing and thus has outdoor spec tires, J-Concept Sprinters to be exact, there are two other surfaces that you might see a four-wheel drive buggy be used on with wildly different tires. For one, there's indoor dirt, be it sealed or unsealed. Generally speaking, you want to run a slick tire to maximize the contact patch between the tire and the surface. The compound may vary depending on the surface itself and whether or not it's sealed with some sort of glue, but there'll always be a slick tire. The other surface you usually see four-wheel drive buggies racing on is carpet and AstroTurf. For the purposes of this video, we'll be focusing on carpet exclusively. Carpet tires are by and large much harder than dirt tires due to the fact that the traction on carpet tends to be very high. Also, the job of these tires isn't to have the highest contact patch, but to dig into the carpet using stiff pins or mini spikes, not unlike the old dirt tires that we used to see back in the 80s and 90s. One theme we'll see going forward will relate mainly to this car will be it being versatile enough to run on all three of these very different surfaces. It's also important to note that these wheels will use 12mm hexes and not 17mm ones like 8-scale cars do. Moving on to the suspension and how it works, on the surface it operates the same as the suspension on an 8-scale vehicle. You have the shock body, the spring, the piston, and the shock oil itself. Where they differ is in the details of each component. For one, instead of the shock body being 16mm in diameter, 10-scale shock like these are 13mm in diameter. The pistons on the inside are also different. In an 8-scale piston, where the number of holes can range from 4 to 22, 10-scale pistons usually don't exceed 4. This B84 currently has 3-hole pistons. Also, the shock oil, unlike on 8-scales, tend to be much thinner than they are in 8-scale vehicles. Another thing to take into account is the front suspension. In 8-scale, you have pretty much two different forms of front suspension that are actively used in today's world. There's pillow ball suspension and C-hub suspension. In 10th scale, including this B84, it's all C-hub style suspension. This is to make sure that the car is as versatile as possible on all the surfaces that a four-wheel drive buggy might be used on, from loose outdoor dirt to high-bite indoor carpet. The last thing we need to go over is the rear wing on the back of the car. Wings on 10-scale vehicles, including four-wheel drive buggy, will usually be made of Lexan rather than flexible plastic like in 8-scale. The main reason for this is weight. 10-scale vehicles, being smaller and more twitchy, are more subject to differences in weight and where that weight is placed. Lexan wings in 10-scale provide a much better driving feel than plastic wings would. This is even more prevalent on carpet tracks where speeds are much higher and the weight is being transferred more quickly. Also, there's the aerodynamic side of it as well. The wing on a 10-scale vehicle is usually cut in a way to provide less downforce the more traction you have. On high grip carpet, the Lexan wing can act more like a stabilizer rather than a downforce wing, whereas on low grip dirt you want that downforce at high speed to keep the rear end planted. Be sure to check your setup sheet in the manual to see where your wing should be cut. One good thing about covering the four-wheel drive buggy class is that you can use literally any four-wheel drive buggy on the market today as an analog and you'll get the main gist of each and every single one. They all have the same layout more or less, so if you want to know what a four-wheel drive buggy looks like from every brand, you only really need to look at one. With that being said, why don't we take the body off and take a look at the electronics and their layout. Let's start with the battery of this and literally every single 10-scale vehicle on the market today, a 2S Shorty LiPo pack. These batteries come in a multitude of different capacities for different uses. 6,000 mAh plus packs are generally used for 8-scale vehicles. 5,000 to 6,000 mAh batteries are generally used for stock cars to make sure the battery doesn't fade during a race, and 4,000 to 5,000 mAh batteries like this Coyote battery are generally used for mod cars as the battery phase matters a lot less when you can just power through it. In order to accommodate these different sized batteries, 10-scale vehicles usually come with different battery mounts to use for different batteries. It's also important to note that each and every single major 2S battery manufacturer that makes competitive 2S shorty batteries for 10 scale, all of them use 5mm bullet connectors. In order to spread the weight out more evenly between both sides of the car, the battery is laid on the opposite side of the motor. Speaking of which, the motor in a 10 scale 4-drive buggy and most 10 scale vehicles in general will follow the same sort of measuring system in terms of power. Instead of kV rating being the unit of measurement, 10 scale motors use turn ratings. The turn rating relates to the number of times the wire in the motor is wrapped around the stator in a brushless system. The fewer the turns, the higher the kV. The more turns, the lower the kV. The reason why they are measured in turns and not kV is because you can actually adjust the kV by changing the mechanical timing on the motor. This is done more so on higher turn motors like 17.5s and 21.5s to optimize the number of power the motor is putting down without killing it. On lower turn rated motors like this 6.0, it's still possible to adjust the timing, it's just not as necessary. Deviating a bit from the electronics, we have the differentials. Once again, this is something that is similar to 8 scale vehicles but different enough to warrant explanation. You see, the front and rear diffs of a 10 scale 4-drive buggy is usually filled with pretty normal CST diff fluid, no more than 30K even on higher grip. The center diff is where things get different. The CST on this B84, which is set up for outdoor dirt mind you, is 80K in CST rating. The higher the grip tracks, like indoor dirt, you'll see diff fluids stop becoming fluids and start to become more like pastes, with CST ratings exceeding 700K to even 1,000,000. Why so thick? Well, it's hard for me to really explain. 10 scale vehicles tend to perform better with these thicker center diffs. There's also the center slipper clutch that carpet cars have. The best way I can describe the center slipper is that instead of having excess power being bled off to the front wheels like a center diff does, the excess power is sent to the back wheels instead. Depending on which car you have, you'll also see different slipper systems like one-way slippers and front rolling slippers, but we'll save that for another time when we're covering carpet racing. Next up, we have the ESC and servo. Starting with the ESC, generally speaking, these electronic speed controllers are made for competition level 10 scale vehicles exclusively. 10 scale ESCs tend to be extremely small compared to other ASCs, and stock ESCs like this one right here can be downright tiny compared to mod ones. They are made to run on 2S batteries and can provide a decent amount of braking force depending on the amp rating of the ESC. The servo, on the other hand, is also pretty normal with only a few key differences on the 10 scale vehicles as a whole. For one, there's the speed of these servos. In 10 scale, speed is usually more valued than torque, as the front wheels are much smaller and don't need as much force to make them move. Especially on carpet where the wheels and tires tend to be much lighter than dirt tires are, both indoor and outdoor. And that's about everything I can think of that makes a 10 scale 4-wheel-drive buggy unique compared to other classes, or at the very least as unique as a 4-wheel-drive buggy can be. If I did miss anything important that you deem important enough to let me know about, be sure to let me know about it in the comments section below. One thing I will say about 10 scale though is the fact that it's a lot easier to run more than one class than it is in 8 scale due to costs. So which class am I going to go for? Well, I've got my tryhard class already done, so why don't we go with something a little bit more silly? That's right. This time we're going to be going with a new short course truck. If you want to know which short course truck I'm going to go for, you're going to have to subscribe to the channel to find out later. Or you can just subscribe in general if you like the video. Also hit the like button and hype the video if you liked it as well. Also, if you want to help me another way, you can subscribe to my Patreon or become a channel member and get videos early. Speaking of which, I'd like to thank my active patrons Micah Williams, Dave Armstrong, Rob Bedingfield, Caden Merks, Ian Petrie, Jeffrey Kunz, Shane T. Ruth, Gable Barber, William Miller, Jeffrey Kunz again, Claymore RC, Brian G, Marian Armini, Skylar Chase Nichols, James Martley, and especially Morrison Watt. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.